Mr. Josh.
Big Tall John, what's going on, brother?
I'm just amazed to see you in a shirt with sleeves. Like the few times that we've been in the same room at the same time, what are you doing that? See, if you don't say anything, the camera doesn't go on you. So now what the people see is me going, "What the hell are you doing? They never saw you do this." So say something.
I need my flexion to make noise. The first Avenger in the house.
Is it true to the rumor that if you wear an Avengers t-shirt, all of a sudden you become stronger?
That is my motto at work every day. So when you see me walk in the halls of Wave HQ, I've got probably like 25 different superhero shirts. You got to channel your inner superhero at all times. It's the only way to be effective.
Okay. So we met last summer at Disrupt HR Toronto. And from what I remember of that night, because it was a whirlwind of a night, it was game 5 of the Raptors finals playoffs. And I think you were the speaker of the night, hands down. You had I guess the speaker's nightmare of the tech not work.
Well, so first and foremost, you need to get credit of your own, because to this day, I still talk about how brilliant your slides were as you filled out that Google search bar. Just freaking brilliant. But yes, Pecha format, which means the slides are supposed to move on their own. New slide every 20 seconds. So you have to have your script down pat. And then when you're presenting and you're halfway through and you realize your slides aren't moving anymore, it creates a very interesting dynamic between you and the audience.
When did you notice that they weren't moving anymore? Because like in the audience, it didn't even seem like you missed a beat, and it was all of a sudden, bam, you just adjusted.
So I always tell people that the most impactful courses I've ever taken in my life were my high school drama courses. So I love improv. I have no problem being on stage. It's a very comfortable environment for me. But it was my first Disrupt HR and my first Pecha Kucha. So I had been practicing that script like day in, day out. I think my wife was going to shoot me if she had to heard that speech one more time. So when I saw that I was talking about something that wasn't perfectly aligned with the slides, I think it took me about 3 or 4 seconds to realize something's not right. I kept going just in case it would catch up or there was a lag. And then I realized we had to go off script. So if I recall correctly, and this was almost a year ago, I think we started a Go Raps Go chant. We needed to cheer on the boys. It was obviously a very important game that many people wanted to get out of that room and go watch. So we built the energy that way until the tech team got themselves back aligned.
That was pretty amazing. I haven't seen a room empty that fast ever before. Like outside of like a fire. Not that I've seen many of those, but that room was empty in like minutes. It's like, okay, that's the last speaker. See ya.
Yeah, feel free to hang around for networking, and you could just see a tumbleweed roll through the room. It was awesome.
So what has changed since then? Like I see that you've changed jobs. You're with Wave HQ now. You already mentioned that. You're training, or you were a boxer and now you are a boxer, or there's something coming up. Like you've got the gun show going. What's going on?
So the past year has been a whirlwind. And not just because a global pandemic has taken us over. So I made the pivot from the world of entrepreneurship. So I was doing some consulting around the world of leadership, organizational effectiveness, decided to go in-house and do that for an amazing organization called Wave, who provides software as a service to small micro businesses in the accounting, payments, billing space. So obviously trying to do as much good as possible to help small businesses in today's world. So that's been amazing. I joined the Fight to End Cancer, which takes 10 white-collar professionals who have no boxing experience and turns them into sanctioned, trained amateur boxers. It's normally supposed to be within about a 5-month period. And then we have 5 boxing matches that fill up an amazing gala event. It was initially scheduled for May 30th, but obviously that's not happening in today's crazy world. So instead of being the Fight to End Cancer 2020 team, I am now on the Fight to End Cancer 2021 team. So I figured if the Olympics get pushed a year, I'm pushed a year, I'm pretty much an Olympian in my eyes.
And are you going to take that extra year of training? Is that going to be taken to its fullest advantage, or is that going to be more pressure, you know?
Oh, there's no pressure here. Like May 30th, I was going to take my opponent down, and now 2021, I'll take my opponent down. All it means is he has to be scared for an additional year.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All on a good cause. All for a good cause.
Of course, the cause comes first, but I am very, very excited to, one, fight to end cancer within our lifetime, which is the mandate, the goal, and what we're really driving to accomplish. And all proceeds, as we build up to this fight, go to the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation, which is just an amazing charity doing life-changing work. So that is mandate number one. But mandate number two, much lower down the totem pole, is Josh Siegal becomes an undefeated amateur boxer. And then I'll retire 1-0, but I'm going to retire undefeated. It's guaranteed. Money in the bank.
So I think the one thing that you're missing is confidence. It kind of seems like, that's a little weak on your side, but that's just feedback. That's just an observation.
Listen, you can be a face, you can be a heel. Just don't forget me. Love me or hate me, you're going to remember me.
You see, this is going to be viewed after being filmed. So this is Friday right now. This is going to be published next week sometime. Of course, WrestleMania is this weekend, and you're talking John Cena language. So we're not going to pull on that thread too much. But what has surprised you the most about transitioning from entrepreneurship into an organization?
Yeah, so for me, I actually love it. Because I find as a consultant, when you're diving into an organization, you can only go so deep. At some point, you need to hand it over, and the folks that are in that organization need to take whatever you're working on over the line. When you're truly a trusted partner inside an organization, like same DNA, same cause, same mission, your ability to take initiatives and really, truly drive mission, drive vision, live and breathe the values. Like, you just can go so much deeper as an employee versus a consultant or a contractor. And the one thing that I've always loved my entire life is making impact. So be it in a professional world, be it in the fight to end cancer, I just want to make a difference. So for me, the transition has been phenomenal because Wave HQ has given me an amazing opportunity to join a team, make a difference on a mission that deeply resonates with me. Like, I come from an entrepreneurial family, so I get it. I understand how hard it is to run a small or a micro business. So if we can do things to make that a little bit easier for entrepreneurs, like, pulling my heartstrings. I get it. I feel it. I've seen it. And I love being able to be part of it on a daily basis.
So when you were a consultant, which superhero were you? And now that you're on a team, has that changed, or have you gone from like Captain America to Spider-Man?
I love that you pulled Captain America, because first and foremost, my boxing nickname is the First Avenger, who is Captain America.
Okay.
He is by far the greatest superhero of all time. And here's the reality. Captain America has comics where he's on his own. And that's a little bit how I felt as a consultant. Captain America strolling in to save the day. But Captain America is also founding member of the Avengers. So you can make him part of a team. He's still Captain America. He's just got an amazing team with him right now. So I'm definitely still Cap. I carry around the shield everywhere I go. And I've just got a team of Avengers now at Wave that support me on the amazing fight that we're fighting.
So with what you're seeing right now, like you're in organizational effectiveness, I'm going to take a stab in the dark that you've likely had to transition to a more work from home-ish flexible policy than you had before. I'm sure everyone's kind of not struggling, but everyone's adjusting to that. One thing I'm really curious of in the market is what happens after our current state. So the organizations that were resistant to being flexible and providing remote opportunity or flexible opportunity. I was doing a webcast with Rob Catalano of Worktango the other day. And we were talking about, if you say to your employees that you trust them to work from home during a pandemic, how are you supposed to convince them that they can't work from home after it's over? So from your perspective, both on the consultant side and on the org effectiveness side within a corporation, what do you think the big adjustments are going to be from a company perspective in, say, 6 months?
So John, that's a phenomenal question. And Rob is a superstar and way more intelligent than I am. So I would prefer just to defer to his answer, because I'm sure it'll be better than mine. But it's interesting because I've been asking a very similar question to almost everybody I chat with on how much are we collectively as a society or as a group of businesses going to actually change and evolve and learn from this versus do we just go back to normal when this blows over in however many months it takes for it to blow over? The skeptic in me thinks that 2021 will be very much like 2019, and collectively we won't learn a ton, but I do think there will be pockets of shining lights and certain industries or certain organizations or certain business leaders that step up above the rest and truly do learn and truly do evolve and do start to shift the paradigm that work can change in some capacity and should change. The pessimist in me thinks that will be the exception rather than the norm, though.
It's kind of disappointing, isn't it?
Well, maybe the world will come and prove me wrong. But I think far too often we've seen history repeat itself. And I think people fall back to their normal operating system far too easy as opposed to flexing the new muscles they're developing. So again, I think there'll be a plethora of organizations out there that take this as a great opportunity to learn, evolve, and do different things. I challenge how pervasive that will become when we come out of this.
Got it. Okay, not to get too personal, but I can see to your left is your kitchen, and to your right, which appears to be your living room. I'm going to take a stab in the dark that you're in some sort of condo situation that is sub 1,000 square feet.
Yes, that is accurate.
Okay, how are you holding up? How's life? How's the family? How's the dog?
You know what? I have to be honest. I've got a lot of gratitude. So there are so many people in much more challenged situations than I am. So I've got my wife, who I deeply love, who's also my best friend, who shares very similar interests to me. So we can play video games together. We can read comics together. We can go for walks. We can work out. So I'm trapped with my best friend, not the end of the world. Our dog is 6 pounds. She's sleeping somewhere over in that area over there. Is relatively low maintenance. Is great company, is keeping me sane in some capacity. So no stress on that front. We don't have any kids yet, so I don't have to entertain them or educate them. I can actually focus on work. And work has been an absolute blessing over these past few weeks, where we're both still employed. We both get to do some meaningful work. And I know that's not the case for many, many individuals right now. So candidly, I feel pretty blessed right now, all things considered.
So one thing I'm really curious of, and this is a subject that I like talking about that makes others uncomfortable, but also makes some people laugh. It's really tough to get a haircut right now. So when we met, you were clean shaven. And I can't help but notice I think you've got a goatee. Maybe do it side to side, maybe. Oh yeah, you've got a bit of a goatee going. How long will this have to continue to happen before you and I have the same haircut?
So I don't know if I'm going to go that short when I get the opportunity, but maybe this will create a whole new look for me. Like if superheroes are your thing, and you remember Captain America's evolution, when he started off, he was very clean cut, military haircut, no beard. By Infinity War, he had that Captain America beard, a little bit of longer hair. So this could be my evolution as Captain America.
Here's something I'm curious of, and I like to ask this question to a lot of people, is what have you learned about yourself that has surprised you the most in the last couple of weeks?
Very good question. So I like to think of myself as very pragmatic and very rational. And I've learned that in times like this, that pragmatism and rationality seems to dissipate a little bit. Where I can sit here and I can talk to you in an intellectual conversation and say, okay, this is going to be the new norm for 30, 60 days. It is what it is. It's not ideal, but that's fine. And in 60, 65 days, we'll go out, we'll live our lives again. I'll get back to the gym and life will be back to normal. And it's okay. Nothing bad's going to happen to me or my family during that time frame. And I can rationalize that. But there'll be moments where I'm sitting on the couch or sitting at a desk doing some work, and I just cannot be productive because there's a spiral of what is this situation? There's too much unknown. How am I going to deal with this? How am I going to get together through another day of not physically interacting or socializing with somebody? And I've learned it's okay to be irrational every once in a while and let those thoughts just flow, and that I'll come back to whatever sort of the new norm is, and it'll be fine. And not trying to rationalize everything and not trying to have a pragmatic lens around everything has been a big takeaway for me, is letting the emotions flow a little bit more and being okay with bad days, not beating myself up because of them. Just kind of going with the flow.
What's the first thing that you and the family want to do when it's socially acceptable to be socially acceptable again?
So when this whole COVID-19 thing started, the first thing I said was, as long as my neighborhood pho place stays open for takeout, I can get through this for as long as it takes. It doesn't matter. I will go get my Vietnamese soup. I will be fine. And for the first week or so, they were like still open, and then they were doing just takeout. And then we had big plans for like a good Friday night meal, get pho. We called them to put in our order, and they temporarily shut their doors. That's, I think, my biggest emotional breakdown was in that moment when I realized I couldn't get my pho anymore. The second they are open, I'm driving a little bit north. I'm getting a giant bowl of pho, and I'm just going to town because it is the best meal that I miss more than anything.
So this is really why you grew the beard then, right? Because you wanted to maintain as much as you could.
The flavor saver. There's some pho taste in here. That is gross. We just broke the internet with disgustingness.
I don't think that's the most disgusting thing on the internet, but I'm also not going to Google what others think that is. I think it's time to end this conversation. I think we may have peaked. It's always a pleasure. Oh, do you have any other speaking gigs coming up?
Like virtual ones with Wave, but that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any big events happening. So we did have a few media days planned for the Fight to End Cancer. Obviously, those media days have been put on hold. The fight's been pushed to 2021, but still an amazing cause. So I know everyone's focused on COVID as the big C to deal with now, but when we get to the other end of this, ending cancer in our lifetime will become my big mission again. So check out fighttoendcancer.com. If you need some random entertainment, you can check out old events. So you can see some old fights, see some of the training and some images of some of the stuff that we were going through before the gym closed temporarily, obviously coronavirus related. So a lot of great stuff happening there. But yeah, that's it, my friend.
One last question. How does it, like, had you been punched in the face prior to this training?
So I do have a karate background.
You do?
So now many years ago. So back in my 20s, I trained Shotokan karate for about a decade. So we would do some sparring, but not the type of sparring and fighting that we've been doing to train to be in a sanctioned amateur boxing match. Like, this is real. There's referees, there's judges, like, we're going at it. That type of fight, no, I have not been in before, but I'm very excited.
So in the training, you must learn how to take a punch, I'm assuming.
So you get comfortable with fists flying at your face. Yes. Like, so your initial response when you see things flying at you, you flinch, you close your eyes, you back away. You have to get used to just flow with it and just push it off. Nice little slow movements. So all it takes, like anything, is practice, right? It's that 10,000 hour rule. You put in the time and you get comfortable with it, and you learn how to position your body, how to position your head, so that when you do get hit, which is an inevitability, you're going to get hit, you minimize the amount of damage that you take.
Tell you what, I'll do a thumb war with you. Ready? Virtual. Go. Nah, it's not the same. Okay, you be well. Hope everyone stays safe. I really appreciate you jumping on. Can't wait to see your virtual content. I think you're a great speaker, and let's keep in touch.
My pleasure. Hope all is well. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Up top. Bam.
Boom.